Okay. Um, it is like 1 p.m. or something like that. I don't know. And we are on the way to the gym. We're going to hit some arms, show day arms. Woke up this morning, got my cardio done, 20 minutes intervaled stairs, and then 20 minutes incline treadmill. Good little sweat going this morning. And we got Wrestling Open tonight. Myself and 23 Hazard versus Ichiban and Bear Bronson. That'll be fun. I believe we're the main event, so my first main event at Open, which is exciting. Um, yeah, just good day. Good day. I. It's funny because I was talking with someone this morning about, from back home, and they're kind of dealing with some stuff regarding just the environment that they're in. And it sounds, I feel, I guess, annoying when I say this, but like your environment is so crucial to who you are as a person. Um, just who you surround yourself with. And I always heard that growing up and I understood it to an extent. But sometimes, and this sounds so, oh, cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. Semi can just cut in front and slow everyone down. Um, it sounds like holier than thou, but I feel like I had just outgrown where I was, along with everything that happened personally, right? And that's why I had to move. And I'm hearing things about back home, and I'm like, damn, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. And not like I still care about everyone. I think that also gets lost in translation. Is like doing the best thing for yourself doesn't mean you don't care about people. It doesn't mean you're leaving them. It doesn't mean you just you're doing the best thing for yourself to create a better life. And that's what I did moving out here, and that's what I'm trying to do. You can only control what you can control. I can't control other people's decisions. I can't, um, force them to think a certain way or do certain things. And when I was a leader back home, I that took a lot of years of failed attempts to do so, and I would drive myself crazy thinking I'm just trying to help them be the best version of them. But if they don't want it, then okay. It, I used to take it personally too, and there's no reason to do that either. If they're not taking my advice, it's not a personal attack on me. It's just they're in a different spot in their life where see they either aren't willing to do the hard things, or they just have a different vision for their life, and that's totally fine. Again, I can't control other people's effort and outputs. I can only control my reactions to them. And am I disappointed sometimes when I invest all this time and energy into someone and they fail is such a harsh word. They don't live up to their potential that I see. It's not a waste of time. That's why I use invest. And I had to come to terms with that. Like, that's a risk you take in being a leader, is any sort of time or energy you invest in somebody might not get returned. And typically the ROI on that investment, or the ROI in general there, is their progress and their success, because that's what you're investing for, right? You're investing your time and energy for someone else's progress and success. And if they don't progress and succeed, that can be seen as a bad ROI, return on investment. That's just the name of the game, dude. To take it personally and to get upset about it is just a waste of your own. Even that is a waste of energy, because that's not going anywhere good, right? If I do my best to help everyone around me, everything in my control, I do my best to do. Okay, my job is done and I can be happy. It's the same thing as why I restarted this, right? If I am doing everything in my power, in my control, to do all the right things, then whatever happens, happens. and I can be at peace with that. That's it. There's no reason to get hung up on things you can't control. And that was such a hard lesson for me. And ultimately, it had to be drilled into my head through, unfortunate circumstances of, I think my past relationship was a huge driver in driving that lesson home. Just, you can do everything you can, and it doesn't pay off. And you are still discarded, and it's not a reflection on me as a person. Are there things I can do better? 100%. Absolutely. There will always be things I can do better. But is the way someone treats me, does that determine my value or worth as a person? Not anymore. It used to, until that happened, and I went to therapy and we did the EMDR, and I realized how much of my worth I allowed to be dictated by external factors, whether it be my success in wrestling, or how my partner treats me, or how people in general treat me, right? And yeah, it's just driving myself crazy over things I can't control, and also feeling like shit because I'm allowing these things to dictate how I feel about myself. And I'm still learning how to love myself, but ultimately I'm doing better at it, and it is what it is. We're always learning. So yeah, on that note, let's go fucking crush some arms and then wrestle. Little tag action. Me and 23 Hazard. We're gonna catch a body. Okay. Um, we hit arms a while ago, like 2.5 hours ago. We, you guys saw the workout, just like a quick little, maybe I think it was like 45 minutes pump. So right now I'm running a push-pull leg split with an added arm day at the end of each push-pull legs. My coach is having me, my arms are just a weak point, so we got to bring them up. And that's just been the story of my life. So I feel like I've made some progress, definitely, but there's still certainly a weak point. And today, it was a pretty good workout. I liked it. In and out at the cardio this morning. I'm exhausted. I've been kind of sick all week. Excuse me. I've been kind of sick all week, and so I think I'm just recovering and doing all the things. This is all I've got this weekend, though. We are on our way to Wrestling Open, where it'll be myself and 23 Hazard versus Bear Bronson and Ichiban, number one Ichiban. And I'm excited. Should be a good time. I don't know. I was thinking about earlier, right? And I was talking about being a leader and all those things. And a big adjustment for me out here has been I'm not really leading anything. I'm just kind of in charge of myself. Excuse me. I'm just in charge of myself, which is actually way harder because I do much better when I'm put under a lot of pressure. Um, and I do have the responsibility of not taking care of, but helping other people. And so that's been a learning experience for me, is how to navigate not having that responsibility, you know. And I still try to help as much as I can back home, but at the end of the day, I'm almost doing a disservice if I step in on everything. So, but a lot of the things that come with that, because it got me thinking, like, what is a leader, who steps up when one leader moves on, and all the things, right? And something that I always, maybe not always, but I realized, oh shit, something I realized is a lot of people want the recognition of being a leader without the microscope that they get put under when you get branded as that. And for example, when I was coaching classes and, kind of leading the Arizona Pro Wrestling Training Center, I talked a lot of shit. And I don't mean that as like trash talking, even though it kind of was. It was mainly like, hey, here's the standard. You're not reaching it. You need to do better. And nitpicking and all those things. And with doing that, I knowingly was also putting a target on my back, because if I'm telling you, you can't be blown up in a match, you have to be able to deliver in that last stretch, whether it be 25, 30 minutes, especially if you're the heel, you got to bump, go, go. You do not have time to be blown up. This is one example, right? And so I would tell people it's not an option. Being too tired to wrestle is not an option. And I stand by that. And a lot of people would make excuses if they were to be blown up after saying that. Or it's different because they're a leader, Or they would say that, they would go on a show, get blown up, and then just like kind of shove it under the rug and pretend like it didn't happen. I don't like that. I purposefully talk that shit because I want that pressure and I want to be put under that microscope. And you can say whatever you want about being fair and, well, how come I'm judged on a curve compared to this person? And, well, because you're a fucking leader, dude. Like, or dudette. Oh, I call girls dudes. Like, that comes with the territory. And if you don't want that, then don't lead. If you don't want people nitpicking you and saying, well, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that, then don't be a leader. There were several times where people would go, well, why'd you do that? And if I had an explanation, I had it. And if not, I would admit my fault and say, yep, I slipped up there. You know what I mean? And generally, people are very accepting of that. Because a lot of people who try to pull gotchas on leaders are doing that because said leaders don't take accountability and they're trying to like poke holes in your credibility, which I think they should be doing, because what's a leader who's not credible, right? And so a lot of the times that people would call me out for certain things, or even just ask why I did something that went against my teachings, either I would explain and go, oh, this is why I made the decision to kind of, detour from what I usually talk about, or I would say, yeah, I slipped up. I fucked up there. That's it. There's one or two answers, right? You can try to BS your way out of it, but people know, man. People know if you're BSing, and especially if you're in a leadership. I hate that. I hate leaders who are not able to take accountability. That is a prerequisite, in my opinion. And so it is what it is. And if you make a decision, stand by it while also admitting that it could be the wrong decision. I truly believe in every decision I make. I am also willing to admit I might make wrong decisions. Both things can be true. I can say, with all of the information I have right now, given the circumstances, I'm going to go with decision A. In hindsight, if decision B was better, okay, absolutely, we should have done B. That's on me. How do we course correct? That's it. You can always course correct, right? And whether that be damage control or restarting or shifting gear, whatever analogy you want to use. Part of being a good leader, in my opinion, is the ability to make decisions in a timely manner, ability to make good decisions, and the ability to take accountability for the wrong decisions. So, just a little rantsky on my way. I am exhausted, so I apologize. I'm drinking a liquid death. A little 100 megs of caffeine, so hopefully that'll get me, it won't get me buzzing, but go vote. I just saw a sign for that. Oh, there's a cop. Who's he getting? He's going quick. Bolton Police. Bolton. Bolton? Bolton? Bolton. Bolton. Go with that. Okay. Maybe I'll check in with you at the venue. Maybe not. Regardless, who gives a fuck about all that? I get to wrestle. I get to do the thing that I love doing the most. I get to be wrestler Devin. So I'm going to go do that. And I will check in with you after. I'm back. This is what you get. Sorry. I'm back from Wrestling Open in Worcester, Mass. First main event out here. Just awesome. Very grateful to be in the positions I'm in right now there. And yeah, it's one of those nights where, you know, there's so much doubt, at least for me, in wrestling and pursuing it. And there's so much like, what if this doesn't work out, and what if that, and what if this. And one of the things I'm physically trying to rewire in my brain is, what if it does work out? You know, we spend so much time, at least I do, wondering, what if this doesn't happen? Or what if this goes wrong? And it's like, what if it doesn't? What if it all works out? You know? What if? And tonight was just confirmation that I did make the right move, taking a chance on myself. And as much as it still scares the fuck out of me, and I experience doubt almost every day, something like tonight happens, and you just realize you're proving yourself right. And you were worth the gamble, and you are worth taking chances. It's really, really special. And tonight meant a lot to me. It's been a long time since I've been like genuinely happy. And on the way home tonight, I was just smiling for no reason in a car by myself, listening to music with the windows down. And that was a unfortunately foreign feeling, but very welcome, because the whole point of moving out here is, you know, building a better life. And I feel like I'm doing that. Tonight showed that I'm capable of doing that, and hanging with some of the best, and delivering, and just It's just fun, man. It's sometimes you take for granted, right? When you wrestle, you take for granted the the moments where you truly get lost, especially if you're like me and you're somewhat of a perfectionist. It's so easy to, and this sounds terrible, but I'm fairly comfortable in the ring. So it's easy to kind of fall into the, I got to position myself here. Okay, cool. And almost become a robot. And like, not necessarily, like, I'm still portraying the emotion and I'm still hitting the emotional notes that I need to tell the story that I want to tell. But I'm not getting lost in it. And in terms of like just living